ask me how I know. Sell your truck while it's still running.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Thank you for clicking back in today. Like it, subscribe. And so I'm Scotty Lovett. I'm with Integrity Mortgage.
I'm Jody Kennedy. I'm with Century 21, Judge Fight.
And we're, like I said, we're glad to have y'all here. We've got a fun topic today that kind of follows up with last week's video. And it's in regards to the home improvement stuff that we were discussing, cash outs, all that. But this time for home improvements, what I want to do is ask you, because right now when you go in and see houses, I'm sure you probably see a lot of opportunity for clients where they could go in and do updates to their properties that could potentially increase their value. So where do you see that there are opportunities when you're going into houses? Like, what are the areas that you're focused on?
So a lot of people, may think that that's $25,000 worth of work that you need to put into your home. Honestly, there's things you can do that are cheap, but that make a huge difference.
Right.
So like the first thing that I would tell a client is, let's put a neutral color on all the walls. Okay. So if you have your bright red Texas Tech office paint, let's go ahead and cover that over with just a neutral color.
No, there's nothing wrong with having a bright red room.
No,
correct?
There's not.
You're right.
I support the Red Raiders. What is the sign? Guns up.
That's right.
My brother went to Texas.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say let's put like a eggshell white, grays. You can do that, but just stay away from yellows and dark maroons, things like that.
So would you say going with that lighter color, does that I'm assuming makes the room feel larger?
And also it gives the buyer the feeling that they have a blank canvas.
That makes sense. So
if they want to come in and wallpaper everything or paint, they can do whatever they want.
It just feels like they're walking into that open.
Like a brand new home. It's
like
a new car smell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you have that new paint smell and you're just like, when was this house built?
Yeah.
15 years ago, but it looks new, you know? And paint is really inexpensive. You can paint yourself. I have painted before and it's not fun. Probably will never do it again, but I did paint my house before I put it up for sale and it did sell.
Oh, there you go.
Second thing that you can do is update light fixtures.
Okay.
So if you've got great light fixtures in your house, but nothing too expensive, just clean stainless steel, whatever matches your ambiance.
Right.
Update the fixtures so that, again, if you have brighter rooms and more light, it's going to make the house look so much larger.
Right.
So much larger. So you're not going to question how many square feet in this home because you feel that there's so much room. Do you know what I mean?
Probably changing out the old light bulb style to more like LED stuff, since now that's
or like, say you have canned lights are really popular.
Yep.
So if you don't have canned lights, and that's not expensive, I just had one changed today and it was $75.
Yeah.
Guy gave me a great deal though.
That's awesome.
He put an LED canned light in my bathroom, and the reason I did that is the tile is white.
Okay.
And so I wanted it to kind of pop.
Yep.
And it looks really good. And he said I could have done like a blue LED too, which I guess would have changed it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of interesting what you can do with lighting. You know? So yeah, and then that's an inexpensive thing that you can do to just make your home look larger.
Yep.
The third thing is replace door handles. So, if you have a door handle that is just old or dirty looking, like an outside handle, get those changed, because again, that's one of the first things that they look at when they're going into the home.
That's a good point. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, the door handles. And if they're like, make sure that they all match too.
Yeah.
So you don't want doorknobs and door handles. Like, let's get everything looking the same. And it just cleans it up. Again, it makes the home look like brand new.
Right.
And I love putting new doorknobs on. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why. It's just, I feel like I got a new door out of it, you know, but I didn't have to buy a whole new door. I just got a nice.
But that is a good point, because that is the first thing. I never thought about that when you're walking in. That's the first thing. I mean, outside of when you're driving up, that's the first thing that you're seeing when you're opening that door, walking in.
Yeah,
so.
And going into bedrooms and stuff like that. So, and like I said, you don't have to change every fixture, or every handle, but just the ones that are, you know, dingy or dirty or old, and then make sure they all match.
That's a good point.
And you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's; they're really inexpensive. Or support your local hardware stores. Yeah. Okay. So, Scotty helped me do a refinance cash out, and I was able to completely update my kitchen. Like, we're talking $30,000. New granite, you know, repainted cabinets. We went all out. And we're not planning on selling anytime soon. But our home had never been updated, and it was in 2005. I wanted to update it and still live in the home before we sold it. And so we spent a little bit extra money because we wanted to basically enjoy it. So if you don't want to spend a lot of money and you're not into doing the cash out refinance, you can just do like minor kitchen upgrades. So stainless steel appliances are very, very popular.
Right.
Black, I would say, is second. White is probably third.
Yeah.
If you can afford to update to all stainless steel, that would probably be the best.
Just so you got the consistency throughout.
Yeah, make sure it matches.
Yeah.
You don't want a black fridge and a stainless oven.
Yeah.
Make sure it all matches. So pick whichever is stainless, you can keep those the same, and then make everything else stainless.
Yeah.
Or if it's all black, just make sure that they're, you know, working, and make sure that they're clean and look new. Because sometimes there's a stove that you just can't get clean anymore. Go ahead and replace it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't get that off the top.
Yeah.
That's happened to me so many times.
I mean, and that is true, though, because, again, when people are walking through, they open it up and they go, "Ugh, what's going on in here?" And then they start going,
Clean your oven.
Yeah.
Clean your oven. Hire somebody to clean your oven.
Oh, man.
Because a lot of clients look in the oven. I don't know what they're expecting to find, but you know.
But if it's dirty, then they're going to go,
it kinda makes,
I don't know if I want to be cooking my food in there, I guess. So, okay, good.
Okay, so as far as cabinets goes, hardware is very popular on cabinets. So if you don't have hardware on them, go ahead and install, you know, your drawer handles and your cabinet handles.
Yeah.
And then I would just do touch-up paint. So if you have white cabinets, just touch up any scuff marks so that it looks smooth. You know, we had yellow cabinets and we had them painted to white. Again, that's just more neutral. So you could do that, and that wasn't that expensive. You can also paint them yourself.
Right.
It's a lot of work, but you can.
Yeah.
Thirdly, granite is very, very popular, and it's honestly not that expensive to do granite.
It's not.
One step above granite is quartz. It's a little bit harder. It's a little bit more expensive. If you can afford quartz and you like it, I like granite. Yeah. It's solid. So if you don't have granite countertops in the kitchen, you don't have to worry about the bathrooms, but in the kitchen, that makes a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, even big probably difference. Just if you've got a house that's got like the tile kitchen, you know, I don't know if you remember back in the day, people would put tile on like their countertops and stuff like that, you know, even just changing out those tile countertops and putting a laminate countertop just so that it makes it look somewhat updated is a big thing.
Yeah. If you can't afford granite, there's a lot of lookalikes that you can go with, and just, get the tile out of there.
Yeah.
And then in the kitchen, you can also update the backsplash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make sure you have backsplash. Some people don't, but the backsplash really adds accent. So the kitchen draws people usually initially into the home. They go into the kitchen. So we want the kitchen to look really good. We don't really care about the bathrooms as much, but the kitchen, clean oven, backsplash tile. So there's a saying that like a sexy kitchen helps sell a house.
Well, I mean, because that's usually where you spend most of your time with your friends, family, whoever comes over. So you're not hanging out in the bathroom that often. But when you're coming over, you usually end up congregating in the kitchen area.
Mhm.
I've noticed almost all of our friends' houses, so that makes sense.
The other day I was sitting with Steph in your breakfast nook.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it is important. Okay, so let's talk about flooring. So if you had carpet all throughout your home and the dogs had peed and, you know, stains, and we're going to go ahead and replace the carpet, but instead of replacing the carpet in the kitchen and the dining room and the living room, go ahead and put in a vinyl flooring.
Yeah.
Vinyl wood flooring. Okay. We would prefer not to have carpet in those rooms. In the bedrooms, it's okay.
Yeah.
So homes that are like $400,000 or less, you can get away with vinyl wood, which that's what we put in our home. It's less than it fit. And honestly, it's waterproof, and I love the flooring. If your home is like $500,000 and above, go ahead and put in real wood floors.
Right. Yeah.
You'll get more out of the value. So,
Now, one thing I will tell you from an appraisal standpoint, because I'm going to think about it from a lender's perspective, wood is viewed exactly the same if you get a standard wood that you can get at Home Depot, or if you go out and buy something that's real exotic, that's super expensive. It doesn't matter if the wood costs this much or this much. An appraiser's only going to look at it and say it's got wood floors, and that's all your value is going to be.
now what about vinyl?
Well, so I mean, on that, it really, I mean, they're just looking for comparables. But I've had clients where like, oh, well, I went and got something exotic that cost $10 a piece of by a foot,
Plank,
$10 a plank, or whatever you want to call it. And unfortunately, that they're not going to give you extra value because you went and bought something that's beyond the standard. All they're looking at is going, is it wood? Okay, wood, you know? So just, I wanted to interject on that because I know sometimes people get all excited and they want to go out and get that really exotic countertop or that exotic kind of flooring, and that does not necessarily equate to you're going to get that value back out of it from an appraiser's standpoint.
So I actually had a client ask me today if she should replace all the appliances in the kitchen. It was going to be like $3,500.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and again, what you need to look at is your price point, and also the area.
Yeah.
So like we live in Rockwall, Texas, where I would probably suggest replace your appliances. It's going to help the home.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in a different area and you need to look at the comps for sure, it may not be worth spending $3,500 on appliances because you're not going to recoup that.
Yeah. I guess it really comes down to, do you want to get that initial kind of wow factor when somebody walks in and they go, oh, this is great, everything's brand new, I don't have to do anything. Maybe that gets you multiple offers, maybe, I guess. But
I mean, it doesn't hurt, but there's a fine line between where, like you said, the wood
money.
floors.
Yeah.
You know, why get $10 a plank wood flooring when the other one cheaper, the price is the same? So just something to think about. And then okay, so another tip is staging, which people don't really like to talk about staging. It's expensive.
Is that the S word we don't like saying?
Yes. Well, there are many S words.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, you know, we can do virtual staging with COVID now, which is really neat, but it's harder to sell a vacant home than it is to sell a nicely staged home because they come in, they can see themselves in the home. So staging for a single family residence costs anywhere from like $2,500 to $4,000, which sounds like a lot, right? But I promise you, you will get that back in the sale of your home. Like,
I mean, I can honestly say when you walk into a house, like I don't have the eye to look past what's in front of me. Like you're talking about the walls. Like if I walk in and the walls are all painted multiple colors, I can't get past that. Some people can. My wife, I know she can look at it and be like, okay, I'm going to repaint this and it'll look that, you know, but I don't have that. But also when you walk into a house and they've got all their stuff everywhere, while that fits perfectly with them living in it, when you're trying to sell it, people walk in and they go, oh, my furniture's not going to fit here, you know, because it starts making the room feel smaller. Kind of like the paint thing. If you got stuff everywhere, now all of a sudden that room shrunk.
Right. And which brings me to the second part of staging. If you don't want to spend that money, what you can do is take out 50% of your furniture in your home.
Yeah.
That's going to make it look larger right off the bat. And then, some people will say, well, that's going to make it hard for me to live when I don't have all my furniture. Well, we're trying to sell your home really fast. Like, we want to get it off the market. And so making you a little uncomfortable is okay, I promise.
So you're not waiting to put it and stage it for months and months on end?
Right. Yeah. So actually the $2,500 to $4,000 is monthly.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, we want to sell this home within days, so you're not paying for the staging any longer. But so if you declutter your home, take 50% of your furniture and put it in the garage, that's fine. Take off all your photos of your family. We don't want to see you in your home. Yeah. We want the buyer to see themselves in your home. So basically, just you can stage it yourself. Even putting like little pumpkins out on the table as like a decoration. That stuff is fine, if it's fall. Mm-hmm. But just very simple but very elegant classic staging goes a really long way.
So you're saying less is more?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Good.
And then the last thing we're going to talk about is landscaping. Yeah. So as Scotty said, the first thing that you notice when you walk up is the landscaping. The second thing is the door handle.
Yeah. So
for landscaping, cut your grass. Please cut your grass and water it.
Yeah.
We're in Texas, so we have a lot of dry grass, but yellow grass doesn't sell very well.
Yeah. Or grass that's growing out of control.
Yes. Yeah. Like if my clients are stepping through the weeds to get to the front, that just doesn't leave a good impression. And it's really easy, and you can pay someone to mow, if you're already moved out of state, but just mow.
Yeah. People don't want to have to show up and use a machete to get to your front door, right? So
we're in. So another cheap thing that you can do is put mulch. New mulch, black mulch, whatever color you like, that goes maybe with your brick. Black mulch really pops. I like black mulch. Red mulch also can pop. Cut the grass, and then you can put a few flowers, but honestly, cutting the grass with just watering it and putting mulch is really, you could put a little flower pot out there with like what's the flower that's popular right now for fall?
Ooh, I don't have a green thumb, so I couldn't tell you.
It's like an October flower. You buy them at Costco, they're real big.
All I know is that everybody gets excited about pumpkin everything.
Oh,
time, pumpkin spice, whatever.
I don't like pumpkin. The guy at 7-Eleven tried to get me to buy a pumpkin muffin, and I was like,
I was gonna say everything's pumpkin right now. So
no, you keep it.
Yeah.
So those are some tips for you guys. Basically, to realize it's not that expensive to sell your house. It doesn't have to be. And we're always looking to help clients save money for sure. So that's our number one priority, and find you your dream home, basically. So we appreciate you guys listening. Like and subscribe to our channel, and follow us on Instagram at home_alone972. And we will catch up with you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.